What is up, you guys? It's your boy JR, back at it again with another video here at photographycourse.net, and today we are going to take night photos. Night photography is something that a lot of people want to do, but it's kind of hard to pull off. So I'm going to be giving you tips today on how to make sure you take amazing night photos. Let's do this. Alright, so the gear that I'm going to be using tonight would be a Sony a6400. The good thing about this camera is it has a very high ISO setting, so it could reach up to 32,000 ISO. So that means that even if you go higher for the ISO, the photos would not have a lot of noise on it. And my lens would be a Samyang Cine lens. It's a 30mm 1.4. So the lower the aperture, the better the bokeh effect, and that's one of my favorite things. So yeah, let's go ahead and test out this bad boy. So one of the things that you might need every time you take night photos would be a tripod. The reason is sometimes you would have to set your shutter speed to a slower rate so that a lot of light would be allowed to come inside the lens and for it to be processed. And if you don't have a tripod with you, the photo would tend to be blurry, so it would have motion blur. So in order for us to avoid that, use your friendly tripod. Alright, so sometimes your subject would not have a lot of light in her face. So even if you want to take photos, it's hard to set the focus because it's not picking it up. So if you're using a manual lens, it's okay, you could adjust it normally as you would. But if you have automatic lenses, it's hard to get the focus if your subject's face is not lit up. So what you can do is you could bring artificial light. So one of them would be LED bulbs, or you could use ring lights. So in our case, we're using a ring light, courtesy of my good friend Gary. He will be the ring light master for tonight. So there. So during night shoots, the number one thing you should look for would be awesome lights. It could be from buildings, it could be from different lampposts. Sometimes you could also improve your photos by using certain props. So we have a couple of props here that we're going to be using tonight. So one of my favorites would be a CD. So it doesn't have to be a working CD, it could be any CD. We are going to use it as a mirror or a reflector so that it would give us nice photos. Let's go ahead and give it a try. So one of my favorite props when shooting at night would be fairy lights. These are something that you could buy online. The trick in shooting a fairy light shot is your aperture should be at its lowest so that you could get some nice bokeh effect on the photo. And your shutter speed should be fast so that there will be no motion blur with the fairy light. So let's go ahead and give it a try. another thing that you could do at night would be long exposure. So long exposure is basically setting your timer or your shutter speed to a slower shutter speed, usually around 8 seconds or more, or sometimes even less if there are more lights. When you're doing long exposure, it's best if you set the timer of the camera to 2 seconds, so that because if you manually press it, what will happen is it will create a shaky effect on it. So we want to avoid that. So set your timer to at least 2 seconds. So once you press it, it doesn't start to go off yet. Another thing that you could do when doing long exposure is you could get the artificial light like the fairy lights, and you create patterns with it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. It was good. I love it. So there we have it, folks. Before we end the night and cap off our portrait night photography for tonight, I want to say thanks to our lovely models tonight. Hi.
Hi.
So there. So we have Z and Biel, and I will be linking their social media handles on the comment section. I mean, on the description box, not on the comment section. And go check them out. So if you want to see a lot more photography tutorials, make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, put a comment on the comment section, and then share it to your family and friends. Again, my name is JR, and we are here at photographycourse.net. Peace!